Hello everyone, my name is Jason and I wanted to make a video about bipolar 2 disorder. I've been meaning to do a bunch of videos about this for a long time, and I've been kind of in the mode of doing a lot of research about it lately, and I just kind of feel motivated and ready to do it. So I wanted to make a video or two to discuss it, kind of talk about it. You know, it feels good to talk about things, and maybe offer some help, hope, and suggestions to help you or others that are dealing with it, you know, how to cope with it, things that have worked for me to help me deal with it for the last 20 years or so. It's been a long time of dealing with it, not really understanding what was going on with me, what I was feeling. I didn't even make the bipolar connection till about 5 years ago. I've always read about it, heard about it, had friends that had it, and was always attracted to musicians and people, actors and stuff that had it, and I didn't even know they had it. So I always had a close connection to it, and after a while was able to really understand that I myself am going through it and have dealt with it for many years. So like I said, I've mainly been suffering with it for about 20 years, and even as a child I noticed that I had feelings of anxiety, OCD, depression, and they were very light back then, but when you first have them, you'll never forget them, those feelings and emotions. And you know, it's something I've pretty much always had in my life. I've had family with similar conditions, anxiety, depression. I think even my father might have been manic depressive, just some of the traits he displayed and stuff like that. So I wanted to make these videos, and this first video I basically wanted to kind of give you my story a little bit and tell you what I've dealt with and how I came to where I am right now. The main condition I've suffered with, above being bipolar 2, is anxiety. That's what bothered me the most. I could deal with the feelings of hypomania, feeling elated and euphoric, especially for a long time, because back then, you know, it felt great to feel like that. The depression I felt wasn't horrible. I mean, it was bad, but I learned to deal with it. So I really didn't care about that too much. The depression's only been a main problem in the last 5 to 10 years or so. The anxiety was the worst part of it, and one reason I didn't make the bipolar connection with anxiety was because when I would do searches on Google or whatever search engine about 10 years ago, you wouldn't read a lot about people that had bipolar disorder and anxiety at the same time. You didn't see much of those two things connected. You know, you wouldn't read about it, you wouldn't see it. So I thought, well, maybe I just have anxiety, and maybe, you know, depression's kind of, you know, second to that. And in the last 5 years, I started reading that people with bipolarism, bipolar 2, they have anxiety problems just like me, or even worse. So anxiety is a condition that can exist comorbidly with bipolarism. So that's one reason I didn't think that I had bipolar, because the anxiety was so bad that it prevailed above everything else. And basically every form of anxiety that you could have, I felt feelings of, you know, not just nervousness and anxiety attacks and, you know, generalized anxiety disorder, but you know, just everything that comes with it. OCD feelings, social anxiety, physical anxiety, everything that had to deal with it, I pretty much felt. And it really was hard for me to cope with life going through that. And it really hit me hard about 12 years ago. In 1999, 2000, I had really suffered like panic attacks and stuff like that, and it was really, really hard for me to deal with. And I did a lot of research. I looked into looked into medications, natural remedies, supplements, different health protocols, exercise, religion, diet, doctors, counselors, psychiatrists, you name it. I looked into everything I could because I really wanted to get over this anxiety condition really, really bad. And one day my anxiety was so bad that I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to try something. So I took a supplement called Kava Kava, and I believe it's a root herb or something like that. And I don't know if it's available in the U.S. anymore because I know they had some liver problems. People were having some liver issues with it, so they took it off the market. But I think they brought it back. But when I was having really bad anxiety, I started taking that, and it was one of the first things that actually relieved my anxiety. And it may have boosted my mania a little bit, or hypomania, but it was one of the first things that really helped me relax. And so that was when I first started to find some relief. Unfortunately, it didn't work for too long. I mean, a good month, and it kind of lost its effectiveness, but it was enough of a boost to really start feeling a little normal again. At that point, once the anxiety was a little more under control, I tried a natural supplement called SAMI for my depression, and in a way, that was one of the first times I really felt true hypomania. Like I was extremely euphoric, and it felt really, really good. It felt so good that that's what I thought happiness was. I thought, you know, when people take antidepressants, this is what they're supposed to feel, because it felt so great. And again, that lasted for about a month. It wasn't super elation, but it was definitely a little bit out of control to the point where I was happier than I had ever been at that point. So it was good and bad. Again, it didn't last, like I was saying. It lasted about a month. But at that point, my anxiety and my depression were at a very controllable, normal level to where I could really start functioning back in work and stuff like that again. So those were the first two things that like really, really helped me.